Hello, everybody, and welcome to Meow Mix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
Three in a row. Three in a row. Three in a row.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll talk about it.
Until predictions.
Yeah, a little bit of a tougher test coming up this week than maybe the previous 2 weeks. But hey, we did not lose on the bye week.
No. I mean, better than other teams on the bye week. Giants, Chicago fans are not having a good bye week. At least we had a decent one.
Yeah. I mean, the Giant, Daniel Jones benched, the Carolina Reaper. Carolina Reaper strikes again. These T-shirts not for sale right now. We're working on it, but yeah, I got one.
Yeah, just
One
some
of
reason.
one.
Some reason the shop we went through has decided everything we produce is copyright infringement, even though we designed it. It's our logo. It's
yeah. This guy that you're seeing everywhere on Twitter and Reddit, that's ours. That's ours. Me and Jerry.
We actually came up with something that's
So-
a hit.
Yeah, people have been sharing it like crazy, but they're going to share it so much that people are going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, but anyway, so yeah, we're going to talk about the Chiefs game coming up. Excited about that, but we have a few other little pieces of information to discuss. Some news that has come out, things of that nature. So Jerry, where do you want to start?
We're gonna go ahead and start where most people have already talked about it, but we didn't. Cam's comments right before the bye weekend, just basically kind of coming out and saying, "Hey, when I took my son to the stadium, my son said, hey, why aren't there any pictures of you up there?" And Cam kind of looked around and realized, hey, there wasn't. I'm kind of shocked. It's something I never really noticed, but when I'm thinking about it, he's right. I don't really see pictures of him. And for the face of the franchise, the guy who really put us on the map,
Yeah.
him not being there, kind of shocking.
Yeah, this sort of, so he mentioned this on his YouTube channel, and it kind of came out of the Germany trip, right, where you had Kuechly and Thomas Davis and Steve Smith kind of all gallivanting around Germany and doing videos, content for the Panthers, and Cam just sort of was like, I didn't know they were doing that. No, nobody invited me to do that. Like the Panthers legends, and Cam's not doing anything. He's not playing football right now.
Yeah.
He could have gone. But yeah, he mentioned that he had some ideas to do, some other media type things, sit down with, Greg Olson and a lot of those guys and just kind of have the conversations about, he wanted to do kind of an unfiltered, put it on YouTube, things like that. But yeah, so he says that he reached out to the organization and they said that it was because he wasn't officially retired, or they didn't know if he was officially retired. So I can sort of see like not retiring his jersey for that reason, right? But to not have, you should have pictures of Cam everywhere in that stadium.
Yes.
Right? That whole 2015 team, like, just should be, you should have him everywhere. And Cam especially, because he was the face of the franchise, the only MVP in franchise history.
Mm-hmm.
He should be a Hall of Famer at some point. But he is, I mean, for a generation, he is the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I agree. Not retiring the jersey and trying to hold off till he retires. I can see that. But the pictures and stuff, I mean, we see pictures of guys who are playing for other teams already up there. I mean, it's just, that happens.
Yeah. I mean, and he's a legend. And he hasn't played in like 3 years, right?
Yeah, so 2 years, I think. Something like that.
What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on at this point?
The pictures is what bothers me, because he is... Why do you not have him holding up the NFC trophy? Why do you not have him, Luke, that 2015 front and center? Like that, he should be. I know you said that, but they should be all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. It's... I didn't realize it.
No.
That I would just assume that you're going to have the Panthers legends, in the stadium, in the locker rooms, the hallways, going through the stadium, like they should be there. And for Cam's son to to look around and notice that, that had to hit Cam pretty hard, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean that's what he said. That it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's rough. And I don't know why. What is the reason? Because he says that they didn't end on really bad terms. Yeah, I mean, his son has to tell him, or he takes his son to the stadium, and his son notices, like, "Where are you, Dad? Like, why aren't you? I thought you were a big deal here." That has to hit Cam pretty hard. Like that would hurt my feelings.
that would be yeah. I mean, he is the Carolina Panthers from like 2010 to 2019-20. Like
Yeah.
he was the face. He was the guy.
I mean, he put us on the map. You mentioned it earlier, but he was the reason the Panthers led SportsCenter for years, right? He's the most exciting player we've ever had, by far.
Oh yeah, in the city of Charlotte, I would say.
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't know the reason. I just don't know the reason. Like, it doesn't seem, I don't know. I mean, who knows why Tepper does anything? Was this Tepper's decision? Did he, willingly say, or, did he mandate no Cam pictures? Like, I don't know. It seems like a weird thing to do.
I did hear that it was something Matt Rule wanted to do. That he wanted to distance himself, and I'm wondering if maybe they did that for Matt Rule, and then when Matt Rule was gone, they
brought Cam back during Matt Rule's tenure.
Yeah, well, I'm still saying why, but
Yeah.
Either way, I agree. He should be front and center. He's been great for the community. I've never heard anybody say any bad things about meeting him publicly or anything.
Right. He still does his camp here.
Yeah.
I think like every year. Matt Rule, man, like that guy, he just wanted to completely change
Everything.
He wanted to get rid of Keep Pounding.
Yeah.
What a dick. I'm glad he's not here anymore.
Me too. I always think back to the first going back to Cam here. I always remember the first Fan Fest after he left. Fan Fest was so fun when Cam was there.
Yeah.
And that year I was sitting there and it just was like, It was
I remember
you
talking about it.
Practice. It was just a practice. Like they needed someone, and usually Cam would be out there pumping up the crowd, even though he wouldn't play that much. He would start the wave, run around, high-fiving kids and stuff like that. He was having a ball out there, and it really didn't have that energy. And honestly, this year I was just like, this year was down south. Never mind. Last year I didn't want to go. I was just like, it's just a practice. I could go watch it another day.
I mean, Cam's just full of personality, right? And that rubs some people the wrong way, but the dude enjoyed himself out there. He loved playing football. He really seemed to love the area. He loved the city. I don't know. Cam never did anything to embarrass us, I don't think.
No. I was trying to think of that too. I was like, why do people still have such an issue with Cam? Like,
I mean, I think we know why a lot of people have an issue with Cam, unfortunately, but
he's never
outside of that, ridiculous reason. Cam's awesome. Like I don't get it. I miss Cam. I miss what the Panthers were with him, what he represented, for the Panthers. We should be trying to get that back.
Yeah.
Get that feeling back, not push it away.
Why would you not have him doing interviews or doing stuff for the Panthers?
Yeah, he should be a big part of game days.
Yeah.
If he wanted to be.
Yes. Again, he's doing his other things, but media-wise,
Steve Smith's here all the time.
Yeah.
Steve Smith's everywhere. Thomas Davis all around all the time. Greg Olsen even, and he does stuff he's on TV every Sunday, but he's still around.
Luke Kuechly, the hermit himself.
Yeah. Kuechly's here. It seems like Kuechly's here more than he was when he played. Like he's here all the time.
Man,
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a bad decision.
If this is a conscious decision, it is a horrible one.
That's the word I was looking for earlier. Yes. Struggled. I was trying to figure it out. Yeah. But I mean, Cam, he said on his thing, he's not going to retire. He's not going to play football again, most likely. He admits that, but he's not going to retire. So I guess we're waiting the 5 years until he becomes Hall of Fame eligible before retiring his jersey. Will they even retire his jersey? They obviously should.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't get
of
why
all the players.
I don't get any ill will from the Panthers organization towards him.
No.
I mean, he came back when they desperately needed him in the Matt Rule era.
Yeah.
After that whole shady stuff that Matt Rule pulled on him.
I watched that game again on NFL Plus not too long ago, within the last month. And I remember how excited I was, how excited the stadium was, when he came out.
I was there. That was awesome.
Yeah. And then the previous week when he came in just for a few plays and scored 2 touchdowns, it just, man, it brought back just a taste of that feeling that we
energy
had in those Cam years. Yeah. And, he wasn't very good ultimately in his second round here, but he had some moments. But, yeah, you got to figure it out. They got to figure out a way to bring him back, integrate him back into the franchise, retire that jersey, unretire it if he for some reason decides to play again, and then re-retire it later. But, what's the downside of having Cam part of this era of the Panthers? There is no downside at all.
No.
He's not a bad guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah. I mean,
like there's no evil part of Cam that we know of.
Yeah.
He just seems like a very genuine. He's definitely eccentric.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Maybe some questionable taste in women, but that's we've all been there.
Of course, yeah. I mean, the hats. The hats are. I could. Some are nice, but others are kind of strange. But he's got a style. He's just an eccentric guy and very genuine guy. He's one of one. He is Cam.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, bring him back into the fold. Let's do the right thing.
Bring him into the fold. Have him do the, how do I call this? The game day, whenever someone goes out to the crowd and talks. Dude, he would be so good at that. He would get so many. Obviously, he's going to have a bodyguard. But if you put him out in the middle of the crowd and have him interviewing or getting fans to cheer.
Yeah, I mean that would be great. I don't know that that's realistic, but just have him out there hitting the drum. Have him on the side.
Yeah, I haven't seen him hit the drum.
Yeah, have him do some interviews with current players. Like he's a media guy now, right? He's on ESPN. Like he's doing the media run now. Let him interview some people.
I think
just bring him in. Use his talents.
I think he said that he wanted to interview Bryce Young for his podcast, which, yeah, why would you not approve that?
Yeah. He's had former players on. He's had former coaches on. Like, this is what he does.
Yeah, it's not like peak 90s Howard Stern type of talk show. I mean,
we're not, like, Bryce is not going to go in there and embarrass himself. Bryce isn't going to say anything.
No.
I can't imagine it would be a very exciting interview either, because of Bryce.
No.
But Cam would make it fun.
Yeah, talk about his history and being drafted 1 overall.
Yeah, comparing their journeys. Like, it would be great. Cam should be there helping mentor Bryce.
Mm-hmm.
It just, okay. Well, either way, like, that's, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. Like, to me, it just seems like a waste.
Yeah. speaking of Cam, let's look at two of his former co-workers, Luke Kuechly and Steve Smith, are finalists for the Hall of Fame this year. Smitty, I believe, was a finalist last year. Was Luke a finalist last year?
Well, so there's semifinalists.
Oh,
Number one,
semifinalists. Sorry.
There's 25. I think it cuts down to 15 the next round, which I don't think Smitty has made 15 yet, but he's been a semifinalist for at least a couple of years, I believe. But Luke, I mean, Luke should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt. Smitty's gonna have to wait for a few more years, I think.
Yeah, there's quite a few receivers, but he has the resume now, especially now he's in the public eye. It wouldn't shock me if he gets in a little pretty soon. Luke, I hope he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. His career was a first ballot Hall of Famer. The length of it, though, may hold him back.
No, I think he's got about the same length as Patrick Willis, and Patrick Willis got in as a first ballot. So I think Luke should be a first ballot. I don't see an argument against it. And I know you're not arguing against it.
No. I just want to hamper expectations, because we don't get to decide that.
I think he will get in. I think he will get in. But just real quick on the Steve Smith. So here are the other wide receivers who are semifinalists. Torrey Holt.
Should get in.
Anquan Bolden.
Should get in.
Reggie Wayne.
Should get in.
Hines Ward.
Hines Ward, I'm not sure on being
I would have Smith above Hines Ward for sure. I'd probably have Smith above Anquan Bolden. Or not Anquan Bolden, Torrey Holt. And then I think Bolden and Smith and Wayne are kind of,
that same era, same numbers.
Yeah, the Super Bowl helps Wayne. I don't remember if Bolden won a Super Bowl or not.
I don't know either.
I think Wayne is above Smith because of the Super Bowl. Their numbers are very similar. But I think Smith, I think like within the next 5 years, I think he should get in. And with him being in the media now, that's only going to help him.
Yeah, I also think they need to clean up the wide receiver Hall of Fame. I think they need to start adding some more guys in there. I don't like the way that it's just a backlog, and it sounds bad, but there's these. Can you tell me Reggie Wayne's not a Hall of Famer?
Oh, of course he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he is. And Steve Smith is too. He's at top 10 in receiving. He won a Triple Crown. He
went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's got 80-something touchdowns for his career. Like he was the at least a top 5 receiver for many, many years in a row. And he played with
Jake Delhomme. There you go.
Delhomme.
He made
Yeah, and Brian St. Pierre, guys like that. Like he didn't get to play with Peyton Manning. Right?
No.
So he didn't get to play with Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt. So it's
and Marshall Faulk. You forgot Marshall Faulk,
and obviously,
was a beast.
yeah, and obviously we're biased, right? Like but the numbers also support it. Steve Smith should be in the Hall of Fame. Just even if you look outside the numbers, like just his personality, what he brought to the game, the highlights. Like this is a guy who should be in the Hall of Fame. He should represent this era of football. For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I know I'm preaching to the choir.
Hallelujah!
But to any of you out there who think he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, I'd like to know your reasoning. Other than he sucks, whatever. Like
I think stat wise, he's in the middle of that pack that you just mentioned. But I think that they really do need to get. Torrey Holt deserves to be in my eyes too. Like Reggie Wayne and Torrey Holt should already be in. Anquan Bolden should be going in. Like I don't see why they're holding off on all these receivers.
I think there's just so many. But if they don't hurry up, like Larry Fitzgerald is coming.
Hall of Famer. Andre Johnson, Hall of Famer.
Yeah. What did Andre Johnson already get in?
I don't know, but
yeah.
Either way, Hall of Famer.
Either way, yeah. But there are guys coming, right? There are guys that are on the way that are, high-end receivers that could jump, Steve Smith. So, But either way, exciting there. I do expect Luke Kuechly to get in. I think first ballot. He certainly deserves it. So we'll see. But yeah. Okay. What's next?
We're gonna jump into the Kansas City Chiefs preview, if you're cool with that.
All right. Are we gambling for the children first?
We can gamble for the children. Gambling for the children.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's for the kids. You know, it's all about the kids. And we're over $100 now, right?
I think it was 121 last time I checked. Right now, I'm not signed in, so I'm not gonna.
All our proceeds are going to go to St. Jude's.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we call it gambling for the children. So Panthers Chiefs, obviously, you know, we've been winning money on Chuba. We've been riding Chuba as the Panthers have been. What are we looking at this week?
Well, the Carolina Panthers, unsurprisingly, are 10.5-point dogs in this one.
That's down. It's down from 11.5.
Ooh. Over under is 43. I kind of like the over under a little bit.
You like the under?
I like the over.
I don't know. Chiefs defense is so good.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say
offense is not explosive.
Yeah, that's true. I keep having that problem of thinking that they're the old Chiefs, and they're a good team, but they're not. Yeah. They're not that high-powered offense that we're used to from them.
Right. I mean, they did add DeAndre Hopkins, who seems to have been helping their passing game for sure. But like Kelsey is kind of down. They will get Pacheco back, it seems like, this week, so that could be a little boost for them. Although Hunt has been running really well. Like I don't think they've had much of a drop off there. But something's off. Something seems just off with their offense a little bit. That being said, they are still much better than the Panthers, overall as a team. I'd stay away from the over/under. Could very well go over, but I'd kind of stay away from that. Well, let's look at some props, like our favorite props. What are we looking at? Chuba.
Longest touchdown, Chuba. Kansas City or Carolina. Shortest touchdown, winning margin.
Longest touchdown, Chiefs would be interesting because they've got Worthy. They've got Hopkins. We don't have really anybody kind of like that.
No. Man, they do not have many prop bets on this game for us.
No.
Touchdown scores. Game props. Jeez, man.
Sometimes it's weird. Like that. Sometimes they don't put them up until Thursday, maybe.
Yeah, they don't have anything good. I mean, I guess we're gonna have to go.
Let's just say, whenever they do put up the Chuba number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are number 1 in rush defense.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Maybe we just bet the spread. Do you think the Panthers will make a game of this and keep it within 10 points?
I would say yes if the Chiefs didn't lose their first game last week. And since they did, I think the Chiefs' defense and offense are just going to try to slam us.
Yeah. Man, I hate betting against the Panthers on a winning streak. But against the Chiefs, that's a tough one.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I'm going to say we'll take the spread for the Chiefs. $5. I can't bet more than that. I just don't feel it good in my Panther
heart. This will just be a week that we don't go crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no good
we'll bet,
props
we'll bet on the Chiefs. Bet on the Chiefs to win. We'll bet the Chiefs with the points. But we'll be super excited if it doesn't happen, right? And
only lose
$5.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, I'll throw $5 at the pot here. Wait, I threw the original money in, so there we go.
There you go. Perfect. All right. Well, let's talk about the injury reports real quick. So I'll go down the Panthers side here first. Miles Sanders, DNP, he will not play. He's already been ruled out by Dave Canales. Damian Lewis did not practice today, but that was due to injury. Canales says he thinks that he'll be back tomorrow. Ashawn Robinson, not injury related rest DNP today, so he should be good. Clowney DNP with a knee. Barno limited practice with a knee, so Barno's kind of making his way back.
Nice.
Yep. Canales says he's not sure how much he'll play or if he'll even play. It just kind of depends on his conditioning. Limited practice, Ike Ikwanu. Limited practice, J.C. Horn with a calf. Don't love that after a bye week. Lebre Ray, limited practice. Thielen making his way back, limited practice. He should be playing. Xavier Woods, limited practice with a shoulder. DJ Johnson, Jonathan Brooks, both listed as full participants in practice. We will see Jonathan Brooks this week.
Yes.
Our first, we'll talk about him here in a few minutes. For the Chiefs, by the way, that's kind of it's still a long list for the Panthers, but it's shorter than it has been in like a month. So there's that. All these guys are full practice listed for the Chiefs. Connor, Brian Cook, Kareem Hunt, Juju Smith-Schuster. Then limited practice is Pacheco and Charles Omenihu, defensive end.
Isn't it funny how winning teams their roster the injury reports always are so much smaller for some reason? It's like people don't want to
correlation there. Yeah. Yeah.
Either players don't want to keep playing when they suck, or they could play through injuries.
Juju back. Juju's been out for a few weeks. I guess they're getting him back. Yeah, I mean they're going to be relatively healthy. Getting Pacheco back, getting Juju back. It's gonna be a tough one. But what are your expectations for Jonathan Brooks? I mean, I think he's the guy I'm probably most excited to see this week, just to kind of see what he can do.
I think we're gonna see a little bit of him, especially with Miles Sanders still out.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I expect 5 touches, whether passing game or maybe a little bit more, but realistically, just 5 touches.
I think it'll be a little more than that. I think under 10, but I see like 7, 8, maybe. Like 5 rushes, a couple of catches, something like that. But I think, I think it'll be majority Chuba, as it should be. But I do think that Brooks could get in there, and I think if this game gets out of hand, in the fourth quarter, maybe that maybe they just let Brooks kind of run it a bit, or they sit Brooks and save him for the next week. I don't know what the rationale would be there either way, but I do hope that we see a handful of touches for Brooks.
Maybe you could hope that, if he plays, you may not want to diminish his spirit by going against the number 1 rush defense. I
don't think that's going to be the case. Like, I think he's going to be excited to be out there regardless. But I'd like to see him. Maybe they involve him more in the passing game. Maybe that's kind of the way to get him involved without trying to run him up the middle, 15 times in a row.
Yeah. Now, their passing defense isn't as good. They give up 212 yards per game. That's 17th in the league. So.
Okay, so about average, league average. Well, their run defense is so good, but and that's really, it's kind of the strength of our team, especially the last couple of weeks, right? Has been the running game. So I don't know. Our offensive line is very good. Where are they? I shouldn't ask you this in the middle of the podcast, but do you know where they are in sacks? Are they?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I have my stat machine up.
Yeah, I'm curious how good their pass rush is, because hopefully we'll see another step from.
They are not good. They are not good at the pass rush. They average 1.9 sacks per game, slightly over the Cincinnati and Miami at 1.7, then Carolina at 1.2, and Atlanta at 0.9. And honestly, 1.3 in the past 3 games. Well, we're at 1.7, so we have been going up.
Yeah, and we're getting a little healthier, so maybe that helps us out there. But they've got just looking at their defense here. There's nobody really jumps out at me. Chris Jones obviously is very good in terms of pass rushers. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Bryce will have a little bit of time. And with Thielen coming back, you got Leggett, Brooks can catch the ball. He showed that in Texas. Chuba can catch the ball. Maybe they can get on a roll a little bit passing the ball. Maybe this is the game where they kind of unleash Bryce a little bit.
I mean, honestly, it would not shock me to keep it close. I'm not gonna say, oh, they're gonna win, but I mean, if they start playing a little bit better, they can muster some decent passing game, and the defense is finally starting to make something happen. Maybe.
Yeah. We will continue this conversation. We'll be right back.
And we are back. Yeah, that one snuck up on us. Usually we try to segue a little bit into that, but almost got turned off on us.
Yeah. If anybody knows of any video conferencing software that doesn't have a limit of 40 minutes per call, let us know.
Yeah.
We've tried Google Hangouts, doesn't really seem to work for us as well, or I know there's a couple others, but we'll figure something out. Either way. So let's see, what were you talking about? The passing game. So maybe this is the week that I mean, Canales has been talking in his press conferences about giving Bryce excuse me, a little more, options to go downfield more and some things like that. So I'm curious to see if we see a little bit of that this week.
Yeah, I would like to see Leggett propped up a little bit more. I feel like they love to use him in the red zone, and that's what he's made for.
Yeah.
But I would like to see him get a couple more targets earlier in the game and kind of try to feature him. I feel like they've done that with Coker. I think he had 8 targets against the Giants. So I feel like they've tried that with Coker, just not Leggett yet. Because I want to get him into that number 1 receiver role. I mean, that's what you drafted him in the first round for. Part of the reason why you let Johnson go. Just go ahead and start doing it. Adam Thielen will take that pressure off this week.
Yeah, I think Adam Thielen is going to be a big help for Bryce this week, just as that, possession receiver, that third down. He's like a super third down guy, right? Because he can also be effective, anytime, really. He's last year was the number 1 receiver, and now you're going to have him basically as the number 3 receiver.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice piece to have coming back.
I think he'll still be the number 1 guy, I say in quotation marks, but he's going to be the slot guy.
I don't think he's going to, well, that's the thing, is like he's not going to line up as the X receiver.
No,
He's
and he doesn't need to.
Y. Right. So I think he will. You think he's going to be the first option?
I think he'll be the first option most plays, yes.
Okay. Yeah. How good do you feel about that? I'm curious if you think that he will have the most targets in the game.
Most targets.
I mean, if he's the number 1 option,
I think he'll have the most targets.
Okay.
Are we going to pull it out?
Let's do it.
Beer Bet of the Week. That was unplanned.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna say he's not gonna have the most targets. I don't think I have to say who I think is gonna have the most targets. Do I?
I'll take that. Okay. That's a fun one.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we've got. I don't know. I'm obviously looking forward to this game. We haven't had Panthers football in a couple of weeks, or at least 1 week. So we get to kind of get back out there. It's a home game, so at least we're not playing in Arrowhead, right?
Yeah,
it's here. Yeah, so that's a help. It does suck that the Chiefs are coming off a loss.
Yeah,
it seems like they're gonna be extra focused. I wonder if Taylor Swift's gonna be here.
The important things for you. The important things of the game for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on that. That'd be great if she was here. That'd be the first time she's in Bank of America Stadium. David Tepper couldn't get her here for.
You do not
tour.
Diss the bringer of music like that, sir.
Couldn't get her here.
All hail David Tepper.
Oh. A little Taylor Swift like yourself there.
I tried.
Oh, man.
I tried.
Yeah. Well, so, I don't know that we need to go through, specific keys of the game here, but we're just excited to kind of watch and see what happens. Obviously, yeah,
Control the
Bryce.
ball. Don't turn it over.
Yep. That's the main thing. Don't turn it over. Try and turn them over once or twice if possible. But again, they're so they know what they're doing. Like this is a team that's won multiple Super Bowls in the past few years. They're 9-1. They haven't been as dominant this year, but they're 9-1 for a reason.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's it's not all luck. Like they're a really good team. They're extremely well coached.
I mean, best coach in the league, best quarterback in the league.
Yep.
I mean, right now they have probably one of the best defenses in the league. I mean,
And again, like stats wise, you know, Mahomes is not having the best year, but
he's winning.
If you need a guy to win a game for you, who else are you choosing? You're not choosing anybody other than Mahomes.
I don't care he lost to Josh
Right.
Allen last week. Patrick Mahomes would be my guy. Like, he's
Of
already
course.
in the Hall of Fame in my head. He's already the
Obviously,
best quarterback,
yes. Yeah.
probably of all time. I mean, there's going to be
Yeah.
arguments for Tom Brady and stuff, but I don't know, man.
He's not the best quarterback of all time right now. If his career ended today, he would not be the best quarterback of all time.
What he did in this short time is
Yeah,
crazy.
okay. I mean, you know, he's not Tom Brady. Not yet. Not yet. He might get there. He might get there. But Tom Brady's best seasons are better than Mahomes' best seasons. And I forgot what I was about to say. Oh. I wanted to talk about you mentioned best coach in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that Andy Reid's the best coach in the league anymore.
Okay, who do you think is better?
I think Harbaugh. I think Jim Harbaugh is. Chargers. I think he is the best coach in the league.
I don't know, man. I don't know on that.
I'm such a huge fan of his.
I like
massive
Harbaugh
fan
a
of his.
lot. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great coach, but Andy Reid has been doing it in and out for so
Yeah.
many years.
I mean, one of the best coaches of all time.
Yes.
Like he's an all-timer. Probably top 5 coach of all time.
Yeah, probably.
Top 3 coach of all time, maybe. Like, you know, Philadelphia, he didn't have. I mean, he was very successful there. He never won there.
He won. He just never won
He
the
didn't win
big
the
one.
Super
I think it
Bowl.
was like
Right.
5 NFC championships in a row. Like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if it was 5 in a row, but he might have gotten to 5 in a row. I don't know if he won 5 in a row. But yeah, I mean, he never won the Super Bowl there, but he has come and he's won it here. And you know, we had the debates of is it Brady or Belichick, right? There may be the debates at some time. Is it Reid or Mahomes? You know, that's just what happens with sports debate. But they're both Hall of Famers. They're both, you know, at the very, very tippy top of their fields. And, you know, when you're looking at, you know, coaches versus coaches in this game, you know, Andy Reid is certainly more capable than Dave Canales at this point of his career.
Oh, 100%.
And Mahomes is way more capable than Bryce Young at this point of his career. Now, when you're looking at some of the other positions on the field, you know, maybe we match up okay.
The pass rush. I mean, you just said it.
Pass
Something
rush.
I wasn't looking at earlier. I mean, they're not good.
Yeah. You know, I would take our running game right now
Yeah.
over theirs. Receivers, you know, I mean, I think that's still TBD for us. You know, we've got some unknowns a little bit.
I mean, yeah, we have 2
certainly some
rookies.
guys. Yeah, you know, but they have Worthy, who is, you know, a rookie, and hasn't been great. Like he is very explosive, but they don't seem to be using him as effectively as they used Tyreek Hill when he was there, right? At least not yet. But they do have DeAndre Hopkins now, who caught, you know, a couple touchdowns, 2 weeks ago, I think. And then Kelsey has been very hot and cold this year, mostly cold.
I think I think he's saving it for the playoff run. I feel like
He might be.
he kind of did this last year too, where his season was good, great for most tight ends, But, he's protecting himself. He's 34, 35 years old. I mean, that's old for that position.
And he's got a lot of miles on him just from all these playoff runs, right?
Yeah.
He's even older than that when it comes to football age. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if this is a game where he goes off for 120, right? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It also wouldn't surprise me if he's, he plays 50% of the snaps,
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? This is a game that's a lot of unknowns in this game. The only thing that I feel pretty confident about is the final outcome. Right?
The team that will come out victorious, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We'll see. Best
We'll
thing
see.
we can hope for, I'm hoping for, is a decent showing from the team. Just that they're fighting hard, that they don't get blown out, that they're somewhat in it in the fourth quarter, and then, don't poop the bed. You could lose.
Yeah, I mean,
no fan base is gonna be upset with you losing this game. It's just don't look awful.
it's expected, right, that
Yeah.
they're going to lose. But again, you hope to see just be competitive. Let's take it into the fourth quarter with a chance. I think we'd all feel good about that. Even
yeah.
if they do end up losing by 2 touchdowns or something, like if they're in the game in the fourth quarter, I'd feel good about it. I'd feel happy that I watched the game, right? That obviously means that something went well, whether it's offense or defense. Something was going well, and the defense has looked a little better the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Josie Jewell, man, I can't bring it up enough how much since he was inserted back, how better this defense looked. And DJ Wanham last week, 2 weeks ago, really showed why the Panthers were high on getting him in free agency.
Yeah, and luckily we got him next year as well, so hopefully he can remain healthy. But yeah, I mean, the team is kind of starting to get their players back. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they shock the world. Maybe they
Shock the world.
Potentially win this game. But if they do win this game, here's what I'll say. If they do happen to win this game, I'm going to start looking at playoff scenarios. I will start looking at playoff scenarios.
If they beat the Chiefs, you have every right to. As they are still not out of the hunt, you have every right to start looking at playoff scenarios. Because that means this team is gelling.
Right. I have not put any thought into it. But if they win this game, come Sunday, I will have the playoff scenarios ready. Right? I will have them ready. And we'll be looking at that schedule and be like, all right, if we can win these games.
Start
especially if, like the Falcons lose or something. Like, actually, I don't even know if the Falcons are playing this week. They may have a bye week. But either way, this is it's a big game, I think, for the Panthers. And not necessarily win or lose. This is just a big game to kind of gauge where they are.
100%. It's a measuring stick of, the last unbeaten team in the league, the, Super Bowl winning team over and over again.
Yeah. The model franchise. Yep. This is what you strive to be.
Do we want to do any predictions or?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we're fine there. Let's do game predictions. I'll say the Chiefs win this one. I'm gonna go 24-17.
I'm gonna go 31-20.
Okay.
Chiefs. I mean.
Yeah, but let's hope it's 21-20 going into the fourth quarter or something.
Yeah.
Right? It's a close game. Yeah. It's a close game.
20-24. They score on the fourth quarter. They stop us. Okay. Yay. We lost 31-20, but it was a close.
Yeah. Like a backdoor cover. They still get the cover. We still win our money, but it was a close game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Go
what,
out
that's
feeling
what
good.
We're hoping for.
Especially
what
if
we're
it's
hoping
a
for is a win, but
yeah.
you know.
If Mahomes pulls a magic fourth quarter drive to win this, I'd be so ecstatic on losing to Mahomes at the fourth quarter. I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look what he did. He did it against us. All right. Well, anything else?
No, I think that's gonna do it.
All right.
All right, we want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMixPodcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. And if you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll like it on the show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube.
We'll be back hopefully Sunday. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe win or lose, we'll be back. But if not, we'll definitely be back middle of the week. And until then, everybody stay safe out there and keep pounding.